everybody. I'm here to talk to you guys today about working the heavy bag. Heavy bag is one of the best ways that you can work out to increase your power and your skill, your stamina, your footwork, your timing. It gives you a great way to work your combinations. If you're not working the heavy bag, you are missing out. Why work the heavy bag? You want to work the heavy bag because it is going to increase your power. Boxers, mixed martial artists, fighters of all kinds have worked the heavy bag. They've worked heavy bags basically since fighting has started because it gives you power. There's no way to beat working the heavy bag. You can't beat on a partner the way you can beat on a heavy bag because they won't take it. Working the heavy bag will build up your bone density. It'll strengthen your tendons, strengthen your muscles. It'll also show you weaknesses in your stances, weaknesses in your form and your technique in ways that working with a partner won't necessarily. If you hit a heavy bag and you're not standing right or you're not turning your hips right, you'll find out pretty quick. You know, if you hit the heavy bag and you're not standing correctly, you might knock yourself back, you might slip and fall. You'll find out really fast. So it's a pretty good error detector. That being said, working the heavy bag will increase your power very quickly. It'll help you build endurance. Working the heavy bag will make you tired fast. You've got to be in shape. You work rounds on a heavy bag, you'll find out what kind of shape you're in pretty fast. When you work the heavy bag, you want to work a short round first. If you're not used to working out, start with like a 1 minute round, 1 minute break. Work yourself up to a 2 minute round, then a 3 minute round. Eventually maybe get up to a 5 minute round if you're feeling really ambitious. And then you can work yourself up to multiple rounds. If you feel like you want to get into MMA, maybe work 5 minute rounds. That's pretty ambitious. You know, if you're a normal guy, maybe work 3 minute rounds. Who knows? I'm going to do a follow-up video to this. We're going to talk about different workouts. I'm going to show you different workouts. We're going to get into how to work your footwork on the heavy bag. It's a great way to practice your footwork while you're hitting. You can work combinations on it, footwork with combinations. It's going to improve your techniques. It's going to improve your speed, your timing. There's really no way to compare to the kind of workout dummy you get with a heavy bag. I keep glancing over here because I got a heavy bag over here for the next video. You're going to like it. Alright, so all that being said, let's talk about selecting your own heavy bag. When you are looking for a heavy bag for your own workouts, there's some things to consider. The first thing is, where is it going to live? Do you have a basement or somewhere that has exposed roof joists that you can put it? If you do, then a hanging heavy bag is really ideal. That's the best way to go. If you don't, then maybe you need to think about one of those bags that lives on the ground like we have, the Wave Masters. They're pretty good. They're not as good as a hanging bag. Hanging bags, you can do a lot more drills with. We'll get into that when we do the working on the heavy bag. You can swing them, you can practice bobbing and weaving with them, you can do stop drills, things you can't do with a bag that's sitting on the ground. But a bag that's sitting on the ground is great. You can slide it into the corner, ignore it, you can leave the base outside. If you don't have a lot of room, it can be very convenient. Your wife also doesn't have to hear that constant banging on the roof if it's in the basement. So, if you don't have a joist to hang it on, ground bag's okay. A hanging bag is it's superior. It's the way you want to go if you have the option. The next thing is starting size. If you have never hit a heavy bag before, you want to start with a smaller bag. Full-grown adult, start with like a 60-pound bag. Work your way up. After you've been working on that for a couple of months, then you can build up to maybe a 75, 80-pound bag. You're working on that for a while, you feel like you started to really get control of it. You're working that bag. You work your way up to maybe a 100-pound bag. There's really no reason for anybody to go over a 100-pound bag. If you're really a beast, you know, your Jonathan Ogden size or something, maybe you go up to a 120-pound bag, but there's no point going over a 100-pound bag. Nobody's that beast. If you're working with a hanging bag, you also want to consider mounts. There's different ways you can do it. If you're hanging it from a joist, they make some really nice mounts that'll take some of the stress off of your roof. You can get a heavy bag spring, which is really nice. They take a lot of the stress off of your ceiling. They also have things they call corner man, which is a big corner thing. I don't like them because they stick way out into the middle of your room, and when you're doing footwork drills, you can trip over them, you bang your toe into it. You got to put big weights on them to hold them down. I really don't like it. It takes up a lot of your room. They have wall things that kind of mount into your wall. They're okay. I've got one over here. You'll see it when we working on the bag. They're all right. They allow you to swing the bag up against the wall. They're okay. Really what you want is something that hangs directly off of a joist. If you're not sure, go to a boxing gym, go to your martial arts instructor, talk to him. He'll have some good ideas for you. If he doesn't seem like he knows what he's talking about, go to the guy where you're going to buy the bags. Talk to them. They should know. If they don't know, go to a different place to buy your bag. Find somebody that knows what they're talking about. All right, moving on from that, how to work the bag. We'll get into this more when we start talking about the bags, but some things to really keep in mind. Rule number one, when you're working a heavy bag, work half power. Never hit the bag full power. If you start working the bag full power, you're going to tweak your wrist, you're going to pop a knuckle, you're going to do something else stupid, and that's going to set your training back. You're not going to be able to hit the bag for a while. The worst thing you can do to yourself is you can hurt yourself and not be able to train. Always work half power. Bonus to this is you're not going to get hurt, and you're going to increase your power. You're going to get stronger. What's going to happen is your half power is going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And pretty soon, your half power is going to be your friend's full power. I remember when I started working the heavy bag, after about a month, I was clowning around with one of my friends, and I punched him in the arm, just like, hey, ha, ha, ha. And he went, "Oh, man, quit it." And I was like, "What, dude?" He's like, "Man, don't punch that hard." I didn't think I was punching hard. But he hadn't been working out. I'm working the heavy bag. My half power was no longer half power to him. All right, so start working half power. Don't be dinging yourself and messing yourself up. All right, second rule, very important also, protect your hands. There's nothing manly about working a heavy bag barehanded. You're not the Hulk. Don't be stupid. Protect your hands. I recommend you wrap your hands. Hand wraps will protect the small bones in the back of your hands. Gloves are okay. Gloves will protect your knuckles. They give you something to hold on to. They're pretty good. The thing is, the gloves will not protect the little bones in the backs of your hands, which is really big once you start developing some real power. Gloves also will not protect your wrists. When you start working and you don't have perfect form and you start hitting with some power, your wrists are going to start to roll a little bit, especially if you haven't hit bags or pads for real before. Okay? Punching in the air, doing your karate drills isn't the same as hitting bags or pads, things with some real mass to them. So you really want to wrap your hands. If you cut your knuckles because you're not wearing bag gloves or you're not wearing wraps, it's going to set you back. You're not going to be able to train for a while. Don't do it. Protect your hands. We're going to get to how to wrap your hands properly in another video. When you train on the bag, have a goal. Don't just get in there and bang on the bag for 5 minutes and then go, "Oh, that was good." Have a goal for yourself. Okay? What are you there to do that day? Are you there to work your jab? Are you there to work your hooks? Maybe you're there to see how hard you can punch for 5 minutes. Whatever it is, have a goal for yourself. All right? We'll talk about those a little bit later too. Work in rounds. Okay? Maybe do one round as a warm-up. Do one round hands only. A round kicks only. Do a round hands and feet. Okay, but give yourself rounds. Don't just try to work a bag for as long as you can until you fall down and you puke on your shoes. Stupid. Okay, give yourself rounds. Work, break, work, break. Okay, there's a reason boxers and fighters work in rounds. Stick with it. It's smart. Next thing is, when you're working it, work your footwork. Don't stand in one spot and hit. When you get into a fight, you're not going to stand in one spot and hit. At least not if you want to win. You're going to have to move around. Heavy bag's going to give you a way to do that. Hit the bag, move, hit the bag, move, move when you hit. Okay, we're going to get into that more too when I'm showing you how to work it. But you want to make sure you're moving your feet when you hit. Move and hit, move and hit. So work on all of that when you're doing it, all right? Quick summary, work the bag to build your power, build your endurance, work on your footwork, your timing, and your combinations. I'm going to show you some good combo drills when we get to it. Selecting a bag. Think about where it's going to live. You want a hanging bag versus a water bag. Starting size. Start small. You can always work up to a bigger bag. You sell your little bag to somebody that's just starting out to be very grateful. Mounts. How are you going to put your bag up? How to work the bag. Start with half power. Always work the bag half power. Your half power will grow. Protect your hands. If you forget everything else I said, protect your hands. Have a goal when you work the bag, work in rounds, and be sure to use your footwork. I'm Mr. James from Charm City Karate. Work the heavy bag, keep your eyes open. How to wrap your hands is coming up next. Have a great day.